Betrayal is not just a momentary lapse in morality. It is an act that shatters trust, poisons relationships, and leaves scars that can last a lifetime. When someone you valued turns their back on you, it feels like the ground beneath you has been ripped away. But understand this: their actions say nothing about your worth and everything about who they truly are. People who betray others believe they are getting away with something, that by lying, cheating, or manipulating, they have won some kind of advantage. But the truth is, they have only sentenced themselves to a life of instability, because nothing built on deception can stand for long. You see, life operates on a principle of reciprocity. Some call it karma, others call it justice, but it is simply reality in motion. The seeds you plant today, whether they be seeds of integrity or deceit, will grow into the life you are forced to live tomorrow. Those who betray, who deceive, who use others for their gain, are not playing a winning game. They are simply trading long-term stability for short-term gain, and eventually the debt always comes due. But what about you, the one left behind, hurt, perhaps even broken? This is where the real test begins. You can let the pain consume you, make you cynical, and drag you into the same pit as those who betrayed you, or you can take the pain, learn from it, and build yourself into someone stronger than before. Because in the end, the best revenge is not destruction, it is construction. It is becoming so disciplined, so focused, and so unshakable that no betrayal can ever diminish your value. And as for those who betrayed you, let them go. You don't need to seek retribution, because they will meet the consequences of their own actions. You don't need to drag them anywhere. Karma will do that for you. And when they fall, as they inevitably will, you will be too far ahead to even notice. So stand up, move forward, and let the universe take care of the rest. The cost of betrayal. Betrayal is one of the most devastating experiences a person can endure. It is more than just dishonesty or disloyalty. It is a deep rupture in the very foundation of trust upon which human relationships are built. When someone you trusted, whether a friend, partner, colleague, or even family member, chooses to act against you, it sends shock waves through your entire reality. It is not just the action that wounds, but the realization that the person you believed in was never who you thought they were. At its core, betrayal is an act of self-interest at the expense of another. It often comes in many forms: lying, cheating, manipulation, abandonment, but the common thread is that someone made a conscious decision to disregard the bond you shared in pursuit of their own gain. That is what makes betrayal so painful. It is a form of rejection wrapped in deceit. It tells you you are expendable to me. My desires, my ambitions, my comfort mattered more than your trust, your dignity, or your well-being. This is why betrayal cuts deeper than most other wounds. If an enemy deceives you, that is expected. It is in their nature. But when it comes from someone you allowed into your world, someone you believed was on your side, it shakes your faith in everything. It makes you question not only them, but yourself. How did I not see this coming? Was I foolish to trust? Am I weak for believing in people? These are the questions that haunt the betrayed. But here is the truth. Trusting someone is not weakness. Showing loyalty is not naivety. In fact, it is the one who betrays that ultimately reveals their own weakness. The betrayer believes they are gaining something: power, money, status, or even just an ego boost. But what they fail to realize is that they are destroying their own foundation in the process. Trust is currency in the world. It is what allows relationships, businesses, families, and communities to function. When you betray trust, you spend that currency recklessly, and once it is gone, it is nearly impossible to get back. People who betray others believe they are clever, that they have outmaneuvered someone. But they do not see the long game. They do not realize that trust is not just a convenience, it is a necessity. And once a person is known as untrustworthy, their future becomes an uphill battle. Because while the betrayed may suffer in the short term, it is the betrayer who has sentenced themselves to a life of instability. The cost of betrayal is not just the pain it inflicts on others, it is the permanent stain it leaves on the character of the one who commits it. No matter how far they run, no matter how much they justify it to themselves, deep down they know what they have done, and that knowledge will follow them everywhere, shaping their relationships, limiting their opportunities, and eventually leading them into their own downfall. So if you have been betrayed, understand this. You did not lose. You did not fail. The one who betrayed you has only ensured their own demise in the long run. They have exposed their true nature, and now they must live with that reality. You, on the other hand, have the opportunity to grow stronger, to rebuild with better foundations, and to emerge from this pain as someone wiser, sharper, and more resilient. Because in the end, betrayal does not define the one who was wronged, it defines the one who committed it. And that is a burden far heavier than any pain you will ever carry. Karma is a mirror, not a myth. The idea of karma is often misunderstood. Some see it as a mystical force that punishes wrongdoers in supernatural ways. But karma is not magic, it is reality in motion. It is cause and effect, action and consequence. Every choice we make sets into motion a chain of events. And those events eventually return to us, whether we are prepared for them or not. When someone betrays another, they believe they have won. They believe they have escaped responsibility, outmaneuvered consequences, and positioned themselves ahead. But the universe does not work that way. Every action has a ripple effect. Every lie told, every trust broken, every deception played for personal gain sets a weight upon the soul of the betrayer. They may not feel it immediately, but over time, it accumulates. They become paranoid, always looking over their shoulder, wondering who will betray them in return. They begin to attract the same kind of deceit they inflicted on others. Why? Because the way you treat the world shapes the way the world treats you. Karma is not about some divine punishment, it is about patterns. People who manipulate and deceive eventually find themselves surrounded by other manipulators and deceivers. They burn bridges, destroy relationships, and erode the trust that holds their lives together. Eventually, they reach a point where they are isolated, distrusted, and unable to build anything lasting. It's not a matter of if this happens, it is a matter of when. Think about the people in history, in business, or even in your own life who built their success on lies and betrayal. How many of them truly lasted? How many of them found peace? No matter how high they climbed, there was always a fall waiting for them because the foundation was rotten. You cannot build a stable life on the ruins of broken trust. You cannot outrun the consequences of your own actions forever. And this is why you must not waste your energy seeking revenge on those who have wronged you. It is not your job to make them suffer. That work is already being done by the nature of reality itself. The greatest thing you can do is move forward with integrity, knowing that while they are trapped in the web of their own making, you are free. Karma is not a myth, it is a mirror. And sooner or later, everyone must face the reflection of the choices they have made. Strength through adversity. Pain is a teacher, and betrayal is one of its harshest lessons. When someone you trusted turns against you, it shakes the foundation of your reality. It's easy to let that pain consume you, to dwell on the injustice of it all, to let anger and resentment take root. But the truth is, adversity is not meant to break you. it is meant to reveal you. Every great individual, every strong person you admire has faced betrayal in some form. It is not a question of if you will be betrayed, but how you will respond when it happens. Weakness is giving in to bitterness. Strength is using that pain as fuel. Because here's what many fail to realize. Betrayal is often a turning point. It forces you to reevaluate who you allow in your life, to sharpen your instincts, and to build yourself into someone who can no longer be easily deceived. The worst thing you can do is allow betrayal to define you as a victim. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become after it. Do you let it harden your heart, making you distrustful of everyone? Or do you take the lesson, learn from it, and use it to build yourself into someone who cannot be shaken by the actions of others? There is a power in being betrayed. Because once you've been through it and survived, you develop an inner strength that cannot be faked. You stop needing external validation. You stop relying on others for your sense of security. And that is where real resilience is born. So when betrayal strikes, remember this: it is not the end of your story. It is an invitation to rise. Use the pain, let it refine you, and walk forward with the knowledge that those who betrayed you did not destroy you. They only revealed the strength you never knew you had. Moral corruption and its downfall, betrayal, is not just an act of deception. It is a sign of moral weakness. People who betray others believe they are making a smart move, gaining an advantage, or securing their own future. But what they fail to realize is that every dishonest action chips away at their own stability. They are not outplaying the world, they are slowly eroding the very foundation they stand on. A person who lies, manipulates, or backstabs others is making a statement about who they are. They are saying, "I cannot be trusted. I put my interests above all else. I am willing to break bonds to get what I want." And here's the truth: no one builds a lasting life on that kind of foundation. The people they deceive may take a loss in the short term, but in the long run, it is the betrayer who suffers the greatest downfall. Why? Because trust is currency, and once it's gone, it's nearly impossible to regain. A person who thrives on dishonesty may rise quickly, but they will fall even faster. They will find themselves surrounded by people just like them, liars, deceivers, manipulators, because like attracts like. And when they need real loyalty, when they need someone to stand by them, they will find only empty hands. History has proven this time and time again. No empire built on deception has lasted. No individual who climbed through corruption has found true security. The world does not reward those who betray. It waits patiently for their inevitable collapse. So if someone has wronged you, do not waste your time wishing for their downfall. It is already in motion. They are carrying the weight of their own destruction, and one day, when they least expect it, that weight will be too heavy to bear. Moving forward with integrity. The best response to betrayal is not revenge, it is success. It is proving through your actions and your character that no act of deceit can define or destroy you. The people who betray others are playing a short-term game. They believe they have taken something from you, but what they don't realize is that their greatest loss is their own integrity. And without integrity, they will never build anything that lasts. You, on the other hand, have a choice. You can let betrayal make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can dwell on what was lost, or you can focus on what you are building. Because here's the truth: the strongest people in this world are not those who have never been hurt, but those who have been betrayed and still chose to stand tall. Moving forward with integrity means refusing to let the actions of others dictate your values. It means continuing to be honest, disciplined, and focused, even when others have taken the low road. And in the end, that is what truly separates those who thrive from those who fall. The betrayers will have their reckoning. Their own choices will catch up with them. But you will rise. Because while they are trapped in a cycle of deception, you are moving forward, stronger, wiser, and unstoppable.